Chapter 23. Scaling Identity Across Platforms. The Problem of Expansion. Once an artist has chosen an archetype and built a cohesive visual system, the next challenge is scale. A visual identity may look strong in a mood board, press shoot, single cover, or music video. It may even feel coherent across one release campaign. But modern music does not live in one place. It lives across streaming apps, short-form video, social feeds, live shows, playlists, interviews, fan edits, merchandise, thumbnails, festival posters, red carpets, behind-the-scenes clips, and algorithmic recommendations. The artist is no longer designing one image. The artist is designing a visual ecosystem. Scaling identity means translating the same artistic world across many formats without weakening it. The goal is not to make every platform look identical. That usually feels stiff and overly corporate. The goal is to make every platform feel connected, even when the format, audience behavior, and visual scale change. A profile icon is not a tour outfit. A TikTok clip is not an album cover. A merch hoodie is not a music video frame. A festival screen is not an Instagram carousel. Each platform demands a different version of the artist. But each version must still point back to the same identity. This is where many emerging artists lose momentum. They create a strong single cover but post casual content that contradicts it. They develop a compelling stage outfit but use unrelated typography on tour posters. They commission beautiful photography but let playlist thumbnails, video previews, and merchandise drift into generic design. The audience receives fragments, not a system. In the attention economy, fragments do not compound. Scaling is the discipline of making identity portable. It asks, how does the artist remain recognizable when cropped, muted, sped up, screenshotted, memed, merchandised, performed, photographed from the crowd, or reduced to a tiny icon beside a song title? A strong visual identity must expand into spectacle and contract into symbols. It must survive both the arena and the thumbnail. Core identity versus platform translation. The first rule of scaling is to separate core identity from platform expression. Core identity is what should not change easily. It includes the artist's archetype, emotional territory, recurring visual codes, silhouette logic, color behavior, movement style, and persona rules. These elements create continuity. Platform expression is how those codes adapt to specific environments. It includes crop ratio, pacing, caption style, content format, styling intensity, lighting approach, graphic treatment, and level of polish. Confusing these two layers creates problems. If everything is treated as core identity, the artist becomes rigid. Every post must match the campaign palette. Every outfit must repeat the same silhouette. Every video must feel like part of the official universe. The result can become too controlled for social media, where audiences often respond to immediacy, humor, and human looseness. But if everything is treated as flexible, the identity dissolves. The artist may appear mysterious in one context, comic in another, luxurious in another, rebellious in another, and minimalist in another without any larger logic holding the shifts together. The public cannot remember what cannot be organized. The strongest artists protect the center and adapt the surface. A minimal icon may preserve restraint, controlled color, negative space, and emotional distance across every platform. But that restraint will look different in a streaming cover, a backstage photo, a vertical performance clip, and a red carpet appearance. The rule is not always wear the same thing. The rule is always reduce noise, control expression, and make space feel intentional. A myth creator may preserve scale, symbolism, world building, and heightened drama. On stage, that may become monumental set design. On short-form video, it may become one surreal prop or repeated gesture. On merch, it may become an emblem, creature, phrase, or fictional artifact. The myth changes size, but not logic. An anti-star may preserve awkwardness, refusal, everyday clothing, distortion, intimacy, or anti-glamour. On Instagram, this may appear as casual photo dumps. In music videos, it may appear as lo-fi realism. On stage, it may become deliberately unpolished styling. The identity scales by resisting too much polish, but that resistance still needs design intelligence. Scaling identity is not repetition alone. It is translation with rules. The platform has a personality. Every platform changes the meaning of visual identity because every platform has its own behavior. Streaming platforms are catalog environments. They reward clarity, recognizability, and strong cover systems. A listener may encounter an artist through album art, single thumbnails, playlist placement, profile images, canvas loops, and recommendation rows. The image is small, static, or briefly animated, and surrounded by competitors. It must read instantly. Short-form video platforms are loop environments. They reward motion, gesture, repeatability, personality compression, and visual hooks. A look must survive fast scrolling and vertical framing. A strong outfit matters, but a strong action may matter more. Instagram is both archive and display window. It rewards aesthetic consistency, lifestyle signaling, editorial imagery, and controlled self-mythology. The grid is less dominant than it once was, but the profile still functions as a quick identity test. In a few seconds, viewers decide whether the artist has a world. YouTube is a search-in-depth environment. It rewards thumbnails, titles, performance archives, long-form world building, visual continuity across videos, and recognizable content series. The artist can be cinematic here, but must still compete through small rectangular images. Live performance is an embodiment environment. It rewards silhouette, contrast, movement readability, costume durability, lighting integration, and emotional scale. The body becomes the logo. Press and editorial platforms are legitimacy environments. They reward images that communicate seriousness, cultural position, fashion fluency, or narrative change. A good editorial image can reposition an artist almost instantly. Merchandise is a possession environment. It rewards symbols that fans want to wear, carry, display, and identify with. Merch is not only revenue. It is distributed visual identity. Fan spaces are remix environments. They reward elements that can be copied, edited, quoted, drawn, memed, and transformed. Fans scale identity when they are given strong enough codes to work with. The mistake is assuming that one master image can solve all of these environments. It cannot. The artist needs a system that understands each platform's personality while preserving the artist's own. Build a platform hierarchy. Not every artist needs to prioritize every platform equally. Scaling identity begins with hierarchy. An emerging artist with limited resources should not try to produce a fully developed visual universe everywhere at once. That often creates exhaustion and inconsistency. Instead, the artist should identify which platforms matter most to discovery, credibility, performance, and fan retention. A dance-driven pop artist may need short-form video and live performance to lead the system. A minimal icon may rely more heavily on cover art, editorial photography, and controlled social presence. A myth creator may need music videos, stage design, and merchandise to carry the world. An indie anti-star may build trust through informal documentation, intimate video, and deliberately unpolished imagery. The hierarchy should answer 4 questions. Where are new listeners most likely to discover the artist? Where does the artist's archetype become most visible? Where do fans deepen attachment? Where does the visual system risk breaking? The answers determine where design discipline must be strongest. For many artists, the most important platform is not the most glamorous one. A weak profile image, confusing thumbnail, generic tour poster, or inconsistent short-form clip may do more damage than an imperfect editorial spread. These small surfaces repeat constantly. They are often the first point of contact. The visual system must therefore be built from both directions, from the major statement pieces and from the everyday fragments. The music video matters. The stage matters. The thumbnail also matters. The announcement graphic also matters. The casual post also matters. Scale is not achieved only through big moments. It is achieved through repeated contact. The scaling audit. Artists and creative teams need a practical way to test whether identity is scaling. A scaling audit can be done before a release, during a campaign, or after an era. It examines whether the artist remains recognizable across formats. The audit should review key surfaces, streaming profile and covers, short-form video clips, Instagram profile and recent posts, YouTube thumbnails, press photos, live performance images, merchandise, posters and announcements, fan edits or reposts. The team should then ask, is the archetype visible? Are the main visual codes recurring? Does the color behavior feel intentional? Does the silhouette remain recognizable? Does the typography support the world? Do casual posts still feel connected to the artist? Does stage amplify the identity or abandon it? Does merch feel like part of the system? Could a viewer identify the artist with the name removed? Are there assets that feel generic or imported from another world? The goal is not perfection. Some inconsistency is natural, especially in real life. The goal is to identify the leaks, the points where the artist's identity becomes weakest, most generic, or most contradictory. Often the leaks appear in practical materials, announcement graphics, thumbnails, playlist images, social templates, behind-the-scenes clips, or merchandise. These may seem less glamorous than music videos or editorials, but they circulate constantly. Weak support assets can quietly damage an otherwise strong identity. A system is only as strong as its most repeated surfaces. Designing for fan participation. An identity truly scales when fans can participate in it. Fans do not simply consume modern artist identity. They extend it. They make edits, recreate outfits, copy gestures, design posters, create memes, draw fan art, wear merch, quote lyrics, imitate poses, and build micro-communities around symbols. This does not mean the artist must design everything for virality. But it does mean the identity should contain elements that are easy to remember and adapt. Fan-scalable identity often includes a recognizable color, a repeatable gesture, a clear symbol, a distinctive hairstyle or accessory, a lyric phrase that works visually, a fashion item fans can approximate, a camera style, an editing rhythm, a fictional world, or a recurring motif. Some artists become visually influential because fans can copy them. Others become influential because fans can build around them. In both cases, the identity has moved beyond official assets into culture. This is powerful, but it also requires openness. Once fans participate, they will distort the system. They will make it funnier, softer, stranger, more political, more romantic, or more chaotic than the artist intended. This is part of scale. The artist's task is to provide strong codes, not to control every interpretation. If the system is clear enough, fan variation will still point back to the artist. The unified ecosystem. The final goal of platform scaling is unity without sameness. A listener should be able to move from a song thumbnail to a short-form clip, from a clip to a music video, from a video to a live performance, from the performance to merch, from merch to fan edits, and feel that all of it belongs to one artistic world. The world may have different rooms. Some may be polished, some casual, some intimate, some spectacular. But the architecture should be recognizable. This is the difference between having content and having identity. Content fills platforms. Identity connects them. In modern music, every platform compresses the artist differently. Streaming reduces the world to covers and icons. Short-form video reduces it to motion hooks. Instagram reduces it to aesthetic fragments. YouTube reduces it to thumbnails and archives. Stage expands it into body, light, and space. Merch turns it into objects. Fans turn it into culture. The artist who scales well understands that none of these surfaces is secondary. Each one teaches the audience how to see, remember, and repeat the artist. The work begins with archetype. It becomes real through a visual system. It becomes powerful when that system scales. A modern artist identity must be able to shrink without disappearing, expand without losing focus, and evolve without breaking memory. It must be flexible enough for platforms and strong enough to resist them. The artist is no longer only a voice, a face, or a style. The artist is an ecosystem. And every platform is a doorway into it.